I'm Shane Curcuru, and this is about why I don't use the GPL. See, I choose to use the permissive licenses for any new code that I write, or any time that I want to look for a new job in open source. So, Heretic, I hear you cry from the back of the room. Well, look, kittens. There's no way you'd throw tomatoes at kittens, would you? Well, these kittens are licensed under the permissive Apache license, which means no strings attached. So I believe in the modern world, we don't need the strings of the GPL anymore. What I'm talking about is copyleft, or viral licensing. The GPL compels you to share any changes that you make to GPL code under the GPL license. So this kind of goes forward, which some people seem to like. That's okay. Yes? It says that if you change GPL licensed software and redistribute it or share it with anyone else, you must share the entire work, including your code, under the GPL. You also must provide a copy of the source code, including your work, under the GPL. You have no choice about this. So the GPL is kind of like a cell phone plan. It's a cell phone plan that you can never leave. So once you get a GPL phone, you're stuck with always having a GPL phone. And you always have to give away your phone number to anybody who asks. Now imagine we're all learning to play marbles together. Some of you like different color marbles. I like cat's eyes. Some people like Aggies. If we all want to play together, we need to have a little bit of flexibility in allowing who's going to bring what kind of marbles to the table. So I respect people who want to use the GPL license, and I'll avoid their software because I want to be able to use my license for my work. So why can't we play together? I can't play with GPL code myself. Now, I'm not saying that the GPL wasn't critical to the original birth of open source, because back then, the GPL helped inform the industry about how important software licenses were, and made sure that we all actually moved the source code forward, and made sure that corporations couldn't lock up source code when it was released. Because back then, it was hard to share the code. Even for popular programs, it was hard to find the source. And the GPL forced you to make sure that you would give away the source code when people asked. This makes sure that corporations can't lock up the software after it's been released, because we know corporations love doing that. The issue is that with any sort of licensing regime or any sort of belief system that makes everyone follow the same exact rules, that's kind of hard for a lot of people to accept. So now that we have today a broader array of so many different open source programs that we can choose to use and engage with, and it's so easy to start new projects, people don't want to have as many of the restraints of copyleft licensing. So analysts have shown that for new projects today, there's a far greater number that are choosing permissive licenses rather than copyleft. This is a trend across industries and across communities. Now that open source is mainstream and we understand how business models work, permissive licenses allow many more business models to work. So copyleft licensing prevents many business models from being able to make as much of a profit. So people aren't going to be as interested in sharing your GPL code in some cases. And really, life is about sharing. When I share something, I want to share it with as many people as possible, because I'll get as many new ideas as possible back in my code. Even if some of them don't participate, that's fine with me. Now, another key point why the GPL, I believe, is not as important today is the rise of the foundations. So open source is in vogue, and it's not just the code, it's the people and it's the governance. Now that open source has spread beyond software into many other places, these foundations are growing quickly. So groups like the Apache Software Foundation, the Free Software Foundation, Eclipse, many, many more, these groups are now trusted and respected stewards of hundreds of top-tier software projects. And as nonprofits, they have a vested interest in attracting as many new diverse contributors as possible. So today, instead of having the GPL enforce being able to share the source code and not being able to lock it up, these foundations have independent governance that ensure that the source code will be available for the future and that the communities will too. So there's a big theme in a lot of the talks today at OSCON: empathy, drawing in new contributors, helping out the newbies with readmes, hiring a whole team of Willie Nelsons, not rock stars. So the theme really is, it's not about making the code work together better, it's about helping people work together better. The GPL is fundamentally about keeping the code free. I am far more interested in allowing you the freedom to do what you want with the code that we share. So I'm Shane Curcuru. I don't use the GPL. I use the Apache license because I want you to have the maximum freedom to build the next great product on top of my software. So thank you, and thank you to Tokay and Palinka, my beautiful kittens. Good night.